Alright guys, here we are again, and I'm going to break into one today that's fucking pretty basic, but I know that a lot of guys just don't seem to fucking understand this. And the reason I'm getting into it is I've noticed it around the gym, I've noticed it with guys, I've heard fucking women complaining about it. And just in general, I think that it's not so much even younger guys, I think some of the older guys too. They just don't really have a good understanding even of like personal fucking hygiene, like even down to that basic fucking very rudimental level of life. And why it matters is that if you don't have very good hygiene, like if you don't have like, you know, even a kept beard, if you don't have like maintained hair, if you don't understand fucking even deodorant and using things like that, not just in the gym, but at work, if you don't understand that, you know, when you finish your shift and you just go straight to the gym and stink the place up, a lot of people won't really tell you. You know, like I've had times where I was training at the gym once and there was a guy there and he wasn't that old. Maybe he was 21 or 20 years old and he fucking stunk. I don't know what nationality he was, but he just smelled fucking terrible. And what would happen was he was known for being like a stinky fucking guy, you know? And he would train and train and he would always train there. He'd been training there, you know, for maybe 6 months. And people would just laugh about him behind his back, you know, like girls would say that he fucking smelled. Trainers there would say this guy fucking stinks, you know, they're making jokes about him behind his back. But no one told him, you know, no one generally sat the guy down and said, you know, like, you need to get your hygiene under control, you stink, and it's really gonna fuck your whole life up, you know? And then one time, I remember I saw him doing these tricep extensions, and he was a fit guy, you know, like it's obvious that he took care of his fitness. He just didn't have any understanding of hygiene, obviously. And he'd come in sort of like half of his work clothes. So I would say that he had some sort of trade, and he thought like, oh, I'll finish work and then go get my gym out of the way, and then I'm done, you know? And obviously not understanding that you're at work stinking, and then if you go to the gym, the sweat just doubles. So not only that, it gets through the clothes that you wear, so it fucking smells. And one day I see him doing tricep extensions and I was nearby and I just said to him, you know, I just was like, oh, come have a talk with me, you know, come have a chat over near the scales, you know, like well away from everyone so no one can really see. And I pulled him aside and I just said to him, like, you know, do you understand like that people talk about you behind your back, that you smell that bad? Like, do you understand that it's really going to fuck you up? And he was genuinely fucking hurt, you know, like I could tell that he was embarrassed. He was quite young, you know, he just didn't know even the fucking basics, you know. And I said like, you know, that you need to wash your clothes, maybe even consider throwing out the clothes that you've been wearing, you know, like you need to soak your skin and fucking have a massive scrub because that smell is just compounding. And what a lot of guys don't understand too is that they think that if they've worn a shirt or something that they can just hang it up and, you know, maybe I can wear it again later. Oh, it doesn't smell. The thing with clothes is they don't smell until they get hot. So like, you know, your shirt might smell clean that you wore once before, and then you'll get halfway through a workout and now the heat of your body starts to push out like the smell, you know, when it heats up, it starts to stink again. So I think that a lot of people don't understand that when you wear stinky clothes too for a long time, it soaks into your skin. So even when they're not wearing like a shirt or something, they still smell. It like gets deeply ingrained in there and it fucks your skin up as well. So when I told him that, you know, he stunk and that he needed to get his hygiene under control, no one saw him at the gym. Like he didn't come back for fucking weeks, you know, like he come back he had like quite long hair. He looked like his hygiene just wasn't really under control at all, like his hair wasn't under control. And then I saw him like probably maybe 3 weeks later, he come back and he was working out in the gym and he just looked like a completely different dude. He had his hair cut short. He had like different clothes on. He wasn't obviously like a wealthy dude. He didn't have expensive clothes on, but he had like clothes that were obviously newly purchased. They were clean. And people were saying like, oh, I didn't know who this guy was. You know, like they weren't sure if it was the same guy that fucking stunk because he didn't stink anymore and he looked clean, you know? So I like to think that that's changed the trajectory of that dude's life, you know? Like a lot of people do a lot of weird shit but they just do it because they don't really have anyone that sits them down and says like, you know, you're fucking up in this area. You've got to get your fucking whatever this is under control, or it becomes lifelong. Because it's very much not in other people's interests, because you're kind of their competition, you know? Like with guys, to think that like a guy's just going to pull you aside and help you, why would he do that? What's in it for him? You know, like he runs the social risk that you could flip out, you know, you could get aggressive. I pulled him aside, like away from all the cameras, just in case he like fucking flipped out, you know? Nothing would have been on film. But I just said to him, you know, that you smell. And that's pretty acceptably normal in the life that I've fucking lived. Like, you have to be able to tell people the truth. But I think that he will come to appreciate it. You know, he's obviously cleaned himself up. And I think that it's nice to be clean, you know? It's nice to fucking feel like, you know, that you don't smell and people treat you not like an unclean person. And I think that there's a bit of a narrative spread specifically to guys that like it's not manly to like want to be clean and maintained. You know, like even a guy could say, you know, like his toenails or his fingernails, you know, they think that it's not manly to get like, you know, even you've got a girl or something and she like manicures your fingernails and toenails. Like guys think like, oh, why would I do that? You know, that's kind of gay. It's not gay to be clean. Like it's just not. And I see a lot of guys too, and it's just their hair, like could be hair on their head, hair on their face. It's just not well kept. Like if you think that you've got like this giant beard that isn't fucking even like, it's all scraggly and it looks like fucking like rubbing on a fucking wire brush. And then you think that like these chicks fantasize about kissing you. Like they're just gonna kiss a giant fucking face full of hair. That would never happen. So you create so many more obstacles for yourself. Like if a girl looks at you and she thinks like anything other than that you're incredibly clean, like you're actually making shit harder for yourself. When I get my beard done, I get it so it's like lifted up. So if I am hooking up with a girl, I don't have to fucking give her a mouthful of fucking hair because I don't like that, you know? I don't create obstacles for myself. A lot of guys don't understand that they're just creating all these barriers for themselves to have success. I remove barriers. Guys are trained to fucking just continually add them to themselves. And then it goes for everywhere, right? Like I don't get my own beard done. I go to the barber and get all that shit done. Same as my hair. I keep it short. I got some fucking grays coming through. Just accept that. Don't go too crazy with it. You know, I see some guys going bald and they trying to cling on to whatever fucking little bit they've got left. You know, just generally accept what you have. Some guys have a really handsome face, others don't. But you can only make things your best, you know? I would still think that a clean guy is going to have more success than guys who, you know, might be more handsome, but he looks like he might not be that clean, you know? Like, I see guys and they don't understand like even colognes, like fragrances and, you know, trying to smell nice and trying to smell like even masculine, just whatever suits you, you know? Like you go to me, I have fucking all this shit here, you know? So I'll show you what I use. First off, deodorant. This is some Polish shit. So I don't really like the canned stuff where it's a massive aluminum spray, but the roll-on, it's like the equivalent of Rexona. I use that. I use fucking lots of colognes. This one, Opera, Zerjov, I can't fucking pronounce it. It's expensive, but this one, Creed. It's like Aventus, but it's Imperial. It's a new one. It's gold. So Creed Aventus is a good one. It's very clean, but this one's Imperial. Roja, United Arab Emirates. Again, extremely clean. It smells nice. 1 million, classic, not very expensive, synthetic. So a lot of guys could afford it. Lasts a fucking very long time. Specifically younger girls, like girls from probably 18 to 25, love this. Even more than fucking fragrances that are $1,000 each. Beard oil. If you have a beard, even my beard as it is now, I should probably oil it more. I don't really use it. But if you've got much more than this, you need to fucking oil your beard at least probably 3 times a week. Some of you have these beards and it just looks like you've got fucking like ball hair all over your face. And then you think, oh, you know, why am I having, you know, a hard time with women? They can't imagine kissing you. You look like a fucking, like she's kissing a giant nutsack that hasn't even been looked after. So they think, the way women think, and it's quite common sense, if they look at you and think anything but extremely clean, like visibly, imagine if she went to suck your dick, you know, like you're not keeping yourself very well kept. So she can't even imagine that. You're creating all these obstacles. This, clippers. I clipper the hair on my body down. I don't clipper it off to fucking nothing. I clipper it down everywhere, even down to my fucking nuts. I keep it short so that I know that when I'm getting my dick sucked, a chick's actually gonna fucking enjoy it. With you, you've probably got fucking like a hedge down there that's fucking just a massive bush, and then you think, oh, why won't chicks touch my dick? Because one, it starts to sweat down there. Two, no chick wants a fucking mouthful of hair. She can't even see your dick half the time because you fucking got so much hair over it. So you're creating all these fucking barriers for yourself. You know, if you're an incredibly clean guy, chicks will do the freaky shit with you, like fucking whatever the fuck you want, you know? Like, it's fun when you're clean, you know, like you're just a clean dude, you know? So they look at that, and it's a very big consideration for what they're gonna do with you. I see a lot of guys think that it's manly to be smelly. Like, you know, it's masculine to fucking, like, you know, just be natural, like a caveman, you know? Oh, it worked in the caveman days, so that must be exactly what women want. No, fucking thousands of years have passed. You're in a society. You walk past people on the street, they could smell if you fucking smell good or not. Women love that shit. Women love fucking guys that smell good. You don't have to spend, you know, you don't have to buy the absolute top tier stuff. Some of the budget shit's fine, you know? I used to wear fucking like cheap Calvin Klein, fucking very cheap shit. I had a good friend of mine that used to work in Thailand, and so he was in Thailand, moved there, and he was one of the first guys that made all the fragrances, the artificial fake ones. He used to make them in fucking bathtubs and then ship them off, and they'd sell them in places like Chemist Warehouse or the fucking shopping centers in Australia as the, you know, original brand, but it was obviously such a heavy knockoff. So I used to get a lot of that stuff. The only issue is that a lot of it's very heavy alcohol content. So you spray, my shit's very expensive because you spray it, and then 8 hours later, I still smell great. This cheap shit, you got to spray, and maybe you have to spray it considerably, maybe every few hours or something, because it does, the alcohols, it vanishes a lot faster. You know, if it's not really the real deal, it doesn't last you as long, but it's still, you know, if it's cheap and it's all you can afford, you can afford to fucking take it with you and put it back on, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Makes a massive difference. It's all about creating, like, you know, green lights instead of putting all these red lights in front of yourself. And it seems fucking trivial, I know, but I was sitting in the, like I said, I was sitting in the gym with a guy who stunk, didn't know. So I know that fucking there's guys out there that stink, you know? And this one is fucking mandatory. Floss. Guys think that, oh, I don't need to floss, you know? It's not a big deal. Like, my teeth look clean. You know, I'm fucking 20 years old. I don't need to do it. Wait till you hit your 30s, you know? If you don't look after your teeth, they're very expensive, you know, and they get all fucked up and your breath starts to stink. And it's another thing, those sort of things, like, you don't really notice. Like, if you're a smelly dude, you get used to your own smell. So if your breath smells, over time, it smells normal to you. And people aren't gonna tell you, like, especially women, because they're kind of non-confrontational, right? They don't want to be like, yeah, your breath stinks, because then you could flip out and fucking hurt them or something, you know? They don't really know. So it's easier for them to just say, yeah, ghost you, you know, or you're at a date and they just fuck off, you know, because they're non-confrontational. Then another one, fucking shampoo your hair. This is some dry skin stuff, because I have fucking quite sensitive skin. I used to have bad psoriasis when I was a kid. Again, I was a kid with fucking terribly bad psoriasis through my whole fucking, from here up, just on fire, just bad dandruff, everything. My parents used to fucking, like, we'd try different shit for it to get it to try and fix it, see a dermatologist. But back then they didn't really have these intensive fucking, like, knowledge, you know? So it was just a local dermatologist, they couldn't really fix it. And then I kind of grew out of it when I got older, but yeah, it was a shit time. Get picked on a lot. And I wish that I had fucking known, I guess, what I know now, which is that you have to keep your, you know, hygiene under control. I didn't know all of that exactly myself. I used to have a real scraggly fucking beard when I was probably 18. A lot of things that don't really look that good. I didn't know that, you know, keep a cool hairstyle. I didn't think that shit sort of mattered, and it does. You know, a lot of you guys just don't even keep a modern hairstyle. You know, like you're still rocking this shit that you had when you were 16, or you just let your hair grow wild, or don't even brush it. You know, you think, oh yeah, chicks like this hair. It's all fucking blown out, you know. No one likes that. People like people that have a look to them. So if you think of me, you'll think of like black, gold, you'll think like well-kept beard, hair, covered in tattoos. When people think of you, they don't really think of fucking like one specific caricature. Your favorite people that you like are very much like a caricature. Like they have a very predictable way of dressing that they follow, they have a predictable style, they don't change their look fucking all the time, and people start to remember them. It almost becomes like a uniform. So predictability builds rapport. So people start to think like, yeah, all right, I know what he's like, so you know, he's trustworthy. He's not some fucking random that shows up wearing a pink shirt one day and then the next thing is in a suit and then he's doing all this weird shit, you know. It makes you quite unpredictable. And women particularly like that sort of energy that they get from you. You know, that it's like a reliability. Like you've got a look, and in their mind, it's what they can understand, you know, they can process. Because the guys that they like, you will remember that it's all often one sort of fucking like caricature. It's not someone it's one look, it's one person, one personality that they have. They don't change all their fucking shit all the time. You probably don't have fucking like one thing. If someone thinks of you, they don't think of you for one specific reason. You think of me, you think tattoos, money, fucking well-kept, nice shit, knows a fuckload of stuff. And people will say, you know, that's just generally, you ask people and most people will say that. When they think of you, they're probably like, yeah, like he says some funny stuff sometimes. But with me, they can draw a picture of me and it's the same fucking year on year on year. I'm not changing shit and doing all this random stuff. And it gives me a lot less to think about. When I go to leave the house, I know what looks good on me. I know how to keep my hair. I know how to keep my beard. So I'm out and I'm extremely comfortable when I'm walking around because I know what looks best on me. And I know I know that I look good. You're walking around being like, oh, I'm trying this new style and these new shoes. I wonder if they look good. I don't have to think of any of that crap, you know? And you might not have the money that I have to buy the best shit that I have, but you might be able to buy like, you know, still clean clothes and fucking even shit from Kmart. You know, I've bought shit from Target. I've fucking worn cheap shit for fucking years and still look good, you know? You just gotta create like a caricature for yourself, a look, a fucking like unique sort of just way that people think of you, you know, like a way that's predictable. Because they're very much the rich men and fucking rappers and things that you think of, they have a few unique traits that they don't change about themselves. And people like that because it's a predictability that makes like people get comfortable around that. So you need to learn that. What else? Moisturiser, specifically for your face. I use this after a shower. I rub it on my face fucking mostly around here because I have the psoriasis. So it keeps shit fucking under control. Keeps your face kind of like, so it all looks the same. Like you don't get all this blotchy skin and shit that people get. And it's not just this, I have some fucking shit that I'm meant to be using for my eyes, put under my eyes, because I'm fucking 37, you know? Take good care of myself, but you wouldn't know because I've fucking lived a hard life, you know? I've done the fucking drugs, I've done fucking prison. People go to prison for years and usually come out looking 20 years older. But I didn't because I know how to fucking take care of myself. Your teeth, of course, take care of them. When you're younger, maybe you were born and your teeth are just fucked up. That happens to people. I had to get Invisalign for my teeth. My teeth were kind of fucked up. They were quite smashed from street sort of life. You know, your teeth get fucked up, get in fights, things happen. But maybe you're born and your teeth are just real jagged and fucked up. And maybe you're like 20 years old and you think, I don't know, like, do people notice? Yes, they fucking notice. So you should be looking at, I know some people are incredibly fucking like not rich, they might be poor, but you should be looking at saving up to get your teeth. I'm not saying that you need this fucking like massive veneers and things to get them. You just need to get them as straight as you can, as clean as you can. And just, I know Invisalign's fucking, maybe it's like a few $1,000s, but I know guys that go out and party and get tables and that, and they've got smashed teeth. And I always just think like, this guy's a fucking retard. You know, like, obviously his priorities are that bad. He doesn't notice that people do judge you based on your fucking look. You know, so if someone has such a thing that they need to buy and obviously need to fix, but then I see him out running around partying, then I think that there's something wrong with him. It's like a chick. Like, if a chick's got a smashed phone and then I see her out buying bottles, I know straight away that she's irresponsible. You know, that she's a smashed phone on a chick just shows all kinds of fucking problems, right? She can't take care of anything. Because the phone for these women is like fucking 90% of their life. So if she can't take care of her phone, she won't fucking do shit for you. So that's just how you tell that. And I know guys as well, let's move from hygiene. Maybe you smoke cigarettes, things like that. I smoke from time to time. I like to smoke cigars on occasion, cigarettes on occasion. Just keep your teeth clean. Like, just, you definitely have to floss, especially if you're smoking, because that shit smell gets stuck between your teeth. It's stuck in your gums. So you definitely need to do it if you smoke. And you just got to keep, just a good hygiene, you know, or you'll be the guy at the gym that people laugh at behind their back and no one tells you, you know, because it's not in their advantage to tell you. You're competition for a lot of guys. That's how guys generally think. So why would they tell you? It's easier to just laugh at you and use you as like a prop, you know, to make themselves look better. So here I am saying that all that shit matters. The narrative spread that, you know, guys, it's manly to be some caveman. No, it's fucking very far from it. You know, the guys telling you that don't have fucking hot women, because if you smell, if you're not really that clean, if you don't take care of yourself, you'll hit 40 and you'll look fucking 90. And then you'll be like, whoa, wow, Stephen was right. Why didn't I listen? And now it's too late. I'm all fucked up. The thing with aging and all that stuff is, once you cross the thresholds, you can't get back. You can't get back what you've lost. You can hang on to it as long as you can, but once it's gone, it's gone. So I'm holding it as long as I can. So I know when I hit 50 or 60, I'll still like look quite young. So I'm holding on to it. Whereas if I had to just let it go, with the life I've lived, I'd already look fucking like a 70-year-old leather bag. So it's important for guys. It seems extremely trivial, I know, but I think there's a bunch of guys that'll still get something out of it. And just when you shower, you know, guys need to shower twice a day. And when you shower, you know, you get the scrubbing brush out. Maybe you don't have a scrubbing brush, but you have those fucking like puffy things. And just clean yourself. Scrub the dead skin off your face. Scrub your fucking whole body down. Under your arms, your chest, your fucking nuts. Scrub it all down. Because the dead skin gets there and it starts to stink. It's like there's a small layer of dead skin on there. And if you don't get it under wraps, it gets thicker and thicker and your skin can't breathe and it's problematic, you know. It seems basic, you know, use body wash. Use body wash on your body. If you use body wash like on your nuts and that, it's a different pH. So it's like a chick. If a chick starts using like body wash and then uses it down there, it can start to smell because it messes up the balance. So understand that. Or you'll have like a fucking swamp ass or something. So you got to get all that shit under control and just trim all that shit down there. Trim your fucking legs. I'm not telling you to, you know, be smooth, clean, fucking shaved, unless you want to be. But I'm saying just trim that stuff, you know, your eyebrows, just get them all under control. Some of you guys just think like that, oh, you know, I'm a masculine man, you know, masculine men have leg hair this long. No, hair is fucking cut full of dirt and shit. It's just, no, you're not a caveman, you know, those days are over. So it's going to seem like a basic one today, but I think you still get something out of it. All right, lads, till next time.